What's up everybody, Adrian here, back with another video. This time we're going to look at an article about the new Bill and Ted 3 movie that's going to be coming out, and unfortunately it's going to be pushed back a few weeks, and we'll find out why. And I'm also going to take a look at the original Bill and Ted, 2 movies, and then we're going to take a look at Alex Winter, his career and what he's been up to, and I'm glad he's back, back together with Keanu. So let's check out this article. So, Bill and Ted Face the Music, the long-awaited third installment in the Bill and Ted franchise, has been pushed back 2 weeks to avoid opening with Tenet. Okay, so it's nothing like serious having to do with reshoots or, problems on the set. It's just to not compete with Tenet. The new movie follows Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter as their iconic characters from both 1989's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and 1991's Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. The film centers around 2 teenagers who are told that their band, Wyld Stallyns, will become the basis of a utopian society in the future, but only if they don't flunk out of high school. Some good news came at the same time as the movie's delay, as it was also recently announced that there will be a Bill and Ted's Face the Music panel at Comic-Con. That should be fun. The first 2 Bill and Ted films have been called classics, one of my favorites to this day still. Since their release, Bill and Ted's Face the Music focuses on Reeves and Winter's characters years later. I think they're all grown up now and have families. They have to go back in time and fix something, or else, something will happen to their families. Don't quote me, I don't know. Not much has come out yet. The script is very under wraps, hush hush. So they're now in their middle age. Okay. The film follows Bill and Ted as they realize their band has yet to create the song that will inspire their utopian society, and they now have 78 minutes left to do it to save the world. So it's like Speed, basically. Like Keanu Reeves in the movie Speed, where, if you go under 50, the bus gonna explode. Well, you got 78 minutes or something's gonna explode and end the world. I hope this movie goes back to its roots when it portrays the characters and doesn't try to push some far left or far right agenda, or put in there forced diversity or SJW or pink pussy hat type, cliches in there, and just ruin the film. Because these films, not only were they from my childhood, they're meant to escape from all the crap that is going on right now. But if they, add their dumb left-wing propaganda, then it's just gonna reinforce all the crazy stuff that is happening around the world right now. And you don't want that. You want to go to escape and have fun. And I don't want them to ruin these beloved characters. So let's see what I can remember from the original movie Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. When I was a kid, I liked the film, but I wasn't oh my god, this is the greatest film of all time, it's so fun. I liked the sequel better. It's kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original, when I was younger, was good, but it was more serious tone and stuff like that. But then the sequel came out and it was all more childish and fun and, targeted more towards kids and more of a comedy and less dark. And as a kid, I loved that movie more than the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But then when I grew up as an adult, or a young kid at heart, I loved the first one, the more darker one, because it was a better story. And the sequel that was more targeted towards kids, I was looking back and I'm this was fun, but I don't like it as an adult now. So it's the same with these 2 movies. From what I remember, in the first one, you had George Carlin in there, and basically they were kids in high school, and they're they were burnouts and losers, and living at home with their moms in their basement. And they, had a band, the Wyld Stallyns, and they were trying to get their band to be successful, and their parents were always get a job, move out, get out of here. So they were gonna flunk school, and I remember they had to travel through time, through this telephone booth with George Carlin helping them out, bring back all these famous characters like Plato and Billy the Kid, the cowboy, and they had to bring them back to school with them so they could work on their history paper, so when they turned it in they would pass the class and not fail. Now you have the sequel. This one I remembered more, And as a kid, I liked it more, but it was more like weird. It had a lot of different weird characters. So what happened was Bill and Ted die. They like fall off a cliff and die, and then you have death. And he was like funny, it's not like a dark film. So they're playing chess with death, or all these games with death, and they keep beating death. And he's like, the death's like, no, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5, 7 out of 10. So they win their lives back. But in the meantime, while they were dead, you had evil Bill and Ted, as you can see here. And then you had robot Bill and Ted go to their girlfriends' houses and like pretend to be them, and you know, they were like assholes. Oh, here's the robots, I remember that. And then you had these weird creatures called Station, and they had to help Bill and Ted like build these robots so they can teach them how to play guitar, so they could make the greatest song of all time. And they kept going like back in time, and they put on their most famous concert. And I remember when they're on stage, they're like, hey, did you learn how to play guitar? But like, no, we were too busy doing all this crazy stuff. So let's go back in time again, where they learn how to play guitar, and they put on, yeah, that's them on stage after they learn to play guitar, and they put on the greatest concert and the greatest song of all time, and again, they save the world. So real fast, let's take a look at Alex Winter, which I kind of feel bad for, because his career didn't explode as Keanu Reeves did. And throughout the years, he hasn't been really like doing much in movies, and Keanu Reeves should have been like a nicer friend, I guess. Threw him a couple bones, you know what I mean? So I remember he starred in Death Wish, he was in The Lost Boys, and then, you know, Bill and Ted, both movies. He was in this like other weird film, Freaked. And then after that, as you can see, he really didn't do much. Just TV appearances, short films, and then finally comes back to do Bill and Ted 3. I like Alex Winter. I feel bad for him. He was, here's that movie, Freaks. And actually Keanu Reeves was in this movie playing Wolf Boy. And then you had him in The Lost Boys, one of the greatest vampire films of all time. Look at that, him as a vampire. He was even in Death Wish 3 with Charles Bronson. He played one of like the goons, and he gets killed and falls off a building. So yeah, like, I'm glad that Alex Winter's coming back, and hopefully this can like restart his career like it did with Keanu Reeves. So in conclusion, let me know what you think about this article. Are you excited for Bill and Ted 3 to come out? Do you think it's going to be a good film? Or so until next time, catch you later, guys.